Henry Herbert Mam. This is our continuing coverage of the election petition which we're having in the Supreme Court now. And as usual, we join ourselves here. It's always a pleasure as well. We also have you in mind, so we don't necessarily say that you join us. We are joining each other to see how much of an understanding we can bring to what has been going on in the courtroom. Well, we're told today possibly Addison finishes his cross-examination, but we're seeing issues come up. We'll talk to our legal brain here who will help us understand what's happening. Let me quickly introduce him, Dr. Morrison.
Thank you very much and good morning. I think it's almost morning afternoon to my cherished viewers. I'm so excited and happy that I'm here once again. And I'm so excited and happy also to be a Ghanaian because we are seeing at the end of the case, we are seeing very much cooperation, and somehow the controversies that are surrounding this case and the mystery is being demystified, and things are moving on the way we all expect to be. And we hope that by His grace, when we resume and we come back, things will settle.
We're all hoping that today was going to end, but from the look of things, we understand we're seeing counsel for second respondent. That's the EC. Indicating that maybe tomorrow they might get the opportunity to go to all their sheets.
I think whether today or tomorrow, the judgment day will come, because what is more important is that we want to cross-check certain information from certain pin sheets, and we think that it's also very important that we should allow parties to have ample and reasonable time for their defense. It's one of their constitutional requirement that when you are defending a case, any person should be given ample and reasonable time to do that. So at the end of the day, it's very good that right from the break, Addison will do some work to push forward his cross-examination, and by tomorrow, if the EC is able to cross-check tomorrow, I don't think it will go beyond the first break. Then maybe the second half from 2 will be left for maybe a re-examination by EC counsel. So far so good for us this morning.
But let's go into the substance of what has happened somehow. It started from yesterday, isn't it? Some particular sheets, in relation to some polling centers, which Addison wanted to question the EC on. It started with they didn't have it that much, and later I think they went through it, and now issues to do with figures being quoted, which this morning we've had arguments suggest that have not been the right ones used and all that, and back and forth as to whether it can be used. And finally, yes, it's been ruled that it can be used and all that. But quickly, we've had a petitioner also draw attention that the figures he used yesterday, they have not been exactly what, yes, and so he has withdrawn. We have seen arguments also from the respondent side, virtually wanting to take him on for withdrawing. What are the implications, if he had not withdrawn? And now that he's withdrawn, what are the implications? At the point in time, the judges came in and said they have ruled, so just forget about it. But what are the implications we're looking at?
The implication is quite simple. Addison made a very strong assertion yesterday that the Jokuku constituency, there were certain figures that went for the president, and then others also went for the Nado. And he thinks that with the figures from the president, he quoted figures like 53,710 votes that was declared in favor of President Mama, and the actual figure was 53,710, and then that's what Mama had, but the EC in declared 67,710. So a difference of about 10,000. Then he went in ahead to say that when it comes to Nanado, Nanado had 40,662. Then they declared 30,605. So these were the figures that yesterday Addison was trying to push across, which counsel for the NDC sought to challenged. And this morning, I think, with that challenged, they've cross-checked, and then Addison realized that the figures were wrong. And you see, if you have continued, it will create problem, because it's like perjury. You tell lies. You are lying to the court, and once he realized that what he said was not true, and our profession is better to be sincere. No, a lawyer must not at all costs win your case. A lawyer, your duty is to assist the court to unravel the truth. You are an officer of the court. Your duty is not to win every case. Your duty is to be honest. You should be fair. You should be truthful to the truth, so that when things are against you, say so. So I think you realize that Tukuba did commend Philip Addison for being honest, humble enough to say that I'm wrong. You cannot always be right. As I sit here, since I started analyzing the court case, if you critically assess me, I will not get 100%. I'm a human being. I may not get some of my facts right. I may maybe overemphasize or try to. I'm not. Everybody has a mistake, so you cannot be sure of whatever is. We've all made mistakes before, but these mistakes, once you recognize it and then you admit. But you see, unfortunately for counsel for the president, I think the absence of Tonlita is actually affecting the president listening, because the other counsel seems to raise issue. He raised this issue of, he thinks that this even apology or withdrawing admission from Philip Addison is not proper in law and evidence. He could not provide any authority. You see, you don't just stand up and make wild assertions, and then in law, everything that you say, you must produce authority. That makes our profession another profession. You see that you don't open your mouth and say things. Once you begin to confront, and this is a lawyer who I told you is almost like 12 years, is my colleague, and you have judges who are about 40 years in practice, and in their view, they realize that what Addison have done is commendable. Then you stand up to forcefully push the case across, and you could not stand, because they said, where in the evidence degree the person wanted to put a case, they said EC, that's a I've even refused to answer. Now the lawyer Tatu comes in to put a challenge, and then he realized that it's a mistake, and he said, I'm withdrawing. They said, no, they should be given opportunity to do what? And then Atuba said something in law. There's something we call the principles of natural justice, meaning you cannot condemn any person on head. Anytime you want to condemn somebody, give the person the opportunity to be heard. And that principle was buttressed in it's called natural. The reason why it's called natural is that it flows from God. You can remember that when Adam and Eve, God, if you all know that God is all-knowing, God knows everything from the beginning, from the end. Do you know that when God told Adam and Eve not to eat the forbidden tree, you see, don't you know that God knew that Adam and Eve have taken the tree? But you realize when they forbidden eat the fruit, yeah. What did God do? Bible says that God have been descending, have come into Adam every time for fellowship. But what happens? When God came, he knew that Adam and Eve have already committed a sin. But he said, Adam, he wanted to give Adam opportunity to be heard. So he said, Adam, where are you? Then he said, my Lord, we are here, but we are hiding because we are naked. Then he said, who told you? Then he posed the question, have you eaten the forbidden tree? It means that God wanted to do justice to Adam and Eve. He wanted a hearing. He could have said that Adam and Eve, you people, I'm pronouncing judgment on you. You have eaten the forbidden tree. No questions from you, no answers. I'm passing judgment. But God, in His wisdom, said, have you eaten? And it was an opportunity for Adam and Eve to what? Explain to their story to be heard. And you realize that God gave the opportunity. And when Adam and Eve got the opportunity, Adam got the opportunity to explain. He said, my Lord, it's on you. It's the woman that you, God, gave me. You see the thing? And then the woman also said, it's on me. It's the serpent. So you realize that God gave Adam opportunity to be heard then before God then pronounced the judgment. So Atogba said that yes, in natural justice principles, you always must give a person opportunity. It's like when you want to kill anything. So I don't know that will say that yes, this principle is good, but the lawyer for the president, you are trying to abuse it. The man, you challenge it, and by challenging it, you have been heard. Now, after being heard, you want the man who have eaten a humble pie, saying that I'm sorry, I want to withdraw. You want what do you want to be heard again? So I think it was a blunder on the side of my own colleague and my friend Basit to go that way, you know. And at times, it's very also good for your practice because you want to be seen, and it's part of the game. At least it has been heard, and it has been overruled. Now, the more important thing is that the judges then took a position. There was a serious objection to tendering of these constituencies coalition results, that the petitions think that the declaration was not properly done. They were over declaration or under declaration, and these constituencies, the respondent want to resist, and then they put up a strong argument that look, Bawumia have actually abandoned those constituencies, so there is no need for Addison to continue to cross-examine. Yeah. And then the petitioners also said yes. Petitioners also said no. You only abandoned 3 of them, and they were pleading. And fourth, there was this argument of whether you have pleaded or you are not pleaded. And when this all argument has to came to the judges have to then make a ruling, and the ruling was so excellent. You know that this time they did not decide. They decided not to go on recess. They sat and quickly. The president gave every judge the opportunity to go through the proceedings, to get the pleadings and affidavit, to hear the parties, and individually, independent opinion, they had 7 against 2, and this is a victory for fairness. This is a victory not to suppress evidence. This is a victory to inquire. I have always said my position that we should be very careful not to allow technicalities to be the order of the day, because we want to unravel the truth. We want inquiry. We need to inquire into the matter. But at the same time, you realize that the judges also said inquiry doesn't mean that we have to inquire about everything. You must bring what we ought to inquire about. You must state them. So the judges' opinion is that, look, once those constituencies have been mentioned, and then to them it will not have been abandoned, only 3 have been abandoned, the remaining must go in so that we can know what actually happened. And Ghanaians, the judges are interested in knowing what the results are. And Ghanaians are also interested, because it will be suicidal to me on my side that because of technical grounds, certain constituencies where the petitioners think that a wrong has been done. And then we have a principle in equity, said equity will always have a remedy for a wrong being done. You see, equity will always find remedy for a wrong being done. The law may not have remedies for wrong being done, but equity, wherever there is a wrong, equity will have a remedy for it. And so, on the equitable grounds, on fairness, on the issue of let's know the truth, the judges thought that, look, it is better for us to know what Philip had against the EC in terms of the declaration results, and 7 did agree, and that was fair. Now it's up to the petitioner to now let all the judges and everybody know what they have against. And I think this decision has really helped in fastening up the case. And I can tell you before God and man, after the recess, you can see that Philip Addison will have a free flow of cross-examination, and then subject to tomorrow's request by Kwashiadan, this case will come to an end. And I think it's good for us.
What do you make of Kwashiadan? He seemed to be raising objections from time to time, doing his best to give his witness a lot of time to think through, to cross-check.
Yeah.
All that.
Yeah, you realize that at the beginning, Kwashiadan took this position of being most senior counsel. He was very, very cool and calm. He was not heckling. He was allowing things to go. But I think a wake-up call, he started to up his game, and he has given Addison a hell of time. Before God and man, he has made the cross-examination of Philip Addison very difficult, very technical. The honored person, and even if you're a lawyer, you look so much confused, because it has not been a free flow. The way Bawumia was subjected to cross-examination, and the objections were not too much. It flowed. Philip Addison, Tatukata, about 40 or 15 days, had a free flow. Then Tolita also had. So people did understand the cross-examination. But when it comes to Philip Addison, you realize that you have 3 strong lawyers, always, every day, not every day, every question they have a case against it. It starts with controversy of the clean sheet. They have to break and go and come. So you will see that people are not enjoying Philip Addison cross-examination. I'm a record to say that Philip Addison is one of the strongest cross-examiner, but it's not seen because it looks as if he has had a lot of heckling, a lot of objection. Some have been sustained, some have been. Then it is not allowing him. But don't lose the sense that if you take all the pieces together, you realize that he has made a very serious impact on this cross-examination. He has been able to punch holes. He has been able to put case across. He has been able to also discredit somehow the witness. He has been able to do the best. But unless you put the pieces together. But I think that on the whole, Afro-Nigerian too have done well, because I was of opinion that, look, Philip Addison is trying to be very tough. Afro-Nigerian don't open up too much, close up, and then give answers, short answers. Don't allow him. And this is what has helped Afro-Nigerian to stay. If this case, I can tell you before God and man, if the NDC was not there, now I understand why NDC came. Now, if NDC was not there and if the president was not there, I can tell you it will be maybe one round knockout. Because you realize that when it comes to the EC, the NDC legal team and then have done a lot of good work by even resisting some of the questions. Then most of the times the court have sustained their objections. So things have not been easy for Philip Addison. I am sure he will confess that he have not enjoyed the cross-examination at all. And you can see it from the instances where you always get up, you know. You always get up, and as instances he said, I didn't do that to you and you are doing that to me. You know that he's experiencing a lot of frustration here and there. And it wears you down as a counsel, because he seems not to have his way, and he has also been checked by the bench several times, where the junior justices in the midst of the justices, Bafo Boni has come out so strongly to correct him here and there. But on the whole, I think that it has been a very good day for us this morning. The Supreme Court have been able to manage the situation very well. I'm so excited the way the justices are managing every controversy. These days, they have even dare not to go and come. That to show you that the end is coming. At first, they will break and go and take 1 hour and come and rule on this objection. But for them to sit down and then within 5 or 10 minutes to rule on objection, 7-2, it shows clearly that the end has come to everybody. We are all waiting for them to make sure that the case come to an end, and they are not going to whatsoever. This case will not go beyond Thursday when it comes to the cross-examination, because definitely by tomorrow they will not tolerate any question, any answer from the counsel for Kwashida to come and say that we are not finished. They will not, because that's why they have taken his word that, look, go use tomorrow to do all the necessary checkup. Don't come and say that, because as of now, and the justice also said to him, now every clean sheet is now with you. All that you need to go and cross check, and that is the last one. So don't go and come and then raise issues.
So every evidence now is before them. I want pink sheet. Tell me, has a good case been made from all the camps? You know, the first, second, and third respondent, and then the petitioner.
Let me frank.
Over this 45 days of sitting.
Let me be frank, as a lawyer myself. A good case or not will be determined by the judges, because they have all the facts. They have all the evidence. You see, all the evidence that was filed, we didn't have a copy. Nobody in Ghana have a copy. It was served on the Niger justices and the registry. So they can do a better job of, now they have a duty to analyze the evidence before them, the way that they have to put and the credibility, and then everything they have to do it. But let me comment what I can do is to comment the legal teams. It has not been an easy case at all. This is a case which has never happened before. So even doing such a case is a very difficult case. Now both camps have done well, because when it comes to Philip Addison and the legal team, I can say that they've done marvelously well, because when you talk about election petitions involving figures, analysis of figures, and then pin sheets, and then there are challenges that they face in trying to bring all this evidence. Where they got the evidence is amazing. And plus, not only that, with the challenges of trying to use manual, where they have problems with duplicating and mislabeling, and then at times some of the pin sheets were not clear. All these challenges were not easy for them at all. And they worked tirelessly for almost 45 days, looking through the cases, trying to push across so many challenges as to objections being sustained, facing a lot of challenges. Now, let me commend the legal team of petitioners also, because you have Philip Addison facing 3 strong, experienced lawyers on the other side. So it has not been an easy case. They've been able to do a very good case, to me, in my opinion, because if their case is not good, then trust me, they could have easily been demolished, thrown out. Then you come to the respondent. Marvelously, they have also done well, because this is a case where you can realize that the petitioners have really done a very in-depth analysis. That they were not there. They've also gathered enough evidence that they've put out there, and you can see that it's not easy to defend such a suit where the petitioners have raised issues of constitutional violations, statutory violations, moral practices here and there, and they've brought, and it have to take a lawyer of an experienced and then somebody who is very competent to understand the issues and that they have to defend. So come to the defense counsel led by you have the president led by Tonelita, then the NDC led by the Chachuchkata, and then the EC Kwashi Adan. They've all done well. They've managed somehow to also punch holes, also put up a strong defense.
You will say they've had a good collaboration?
Definitely, the three, they have had a good collaboration. But at times, you realize that some of the collaboration, you will not have a perfect collaboration, because they are all looking at it from different angles. And you can see from the strategy of the petitioners, they were targeting some people, the other people they were targeting. Their main target is the petitioner, is the EC. So you realize that when it comes to the president, that's Asedu Kitia, they don't not insensitive with him, because he cannot answer most of the questions that the EC is answering right now. So the defense counsel to have done a marvelous well done. Kudos to Chachuchkata, because he has his own style of also raising serious issues. He is also more experienced to take on the justices. He doesn't easily give up. He believes in his convictions, his legal, and he has been able to do that very well. At times, convincing the judges to see things from his legal angle, and then at times the judges give in. Then we have a situation where also the Tonelita have his own style of also creating a lot of serious headache for Addison and Co. And then the EC too have done well. So far so good. To me, as of now, what is more important is the details, which we all do have access to. And then we don't know, we can't read the minds of the justices. They themselves are also having a difficult time in going through and unraveling the truth. So now, individually, this is not a matter of just the judges going for a long break and go to maybe a meeting to go and sit down and then discuss the results. Individually, they are going to look at the issues one by one, and then they come out with their own opinion, and they are ruling, and then together we will know who have actually not won. But I think that this election, nobody will win. Do you know the reason why I said nobody will win? Nobody will win this election, because it's simple. Because you can see the two camps. Everybody have done this going to work well. So the only thing is that the ruling will favor Madagana. And trust me, no matter where it goes, our electoral system will not be the same. And then no matter where it goes, this ruling is going to come, and the legislative petition have come to enlighten every Ghanaian. Now, every Ghanaian everywhere, it seems to be a pocket lawyer. Every Ghanaian everywhere seems to understand legal issues. As I walk on the street, there are people who confront me and say that, we thought that law is difficult. Now we realize that law is not difficult at all. So this is what I'm
happening. They have a case to defend the courts.
They realize that, so law is so not so technical, and lawyers at times use big legal jargons, but it's more of understand. Now people have realized that there's something called cross-examination. People are now realizing what is called re-examination. People are now realizing what is called examination in chief. People are now realizing what is called pin sheets, and then issues about interrogation, issues about objection, issues about so many things, about contempt.
So it's about opening our eyes to the legal world, and then as well helping us understand our electoral system. That's
the mystery behind the court.
Some will say you kill two birds with a stone.
And then and then before God and man, let me talk to you, Frank. As I sit here, it's through this election petition that I'm going to know most of our electoral laws and how it operates, because we have a state educator coming to lecture X with his 30 years of plus experience, and then we have the EC also coming in and do another lecture. So every Ghanaian now got to know that there's presiding officer, there's returning officer, and then what their roles are, and then the agents. Thank you, and the P sheets, and then collation results, and then how results are declared, and interesting days ahead. So this petition have done us a lot of good, and also issues of contempt. what is contempt, whether it is taking a freedom of speech, and what the judges can do.
There have been casualties.
Casualties. Thank you. So it's a lesson for us. Ghana will never be the same after the election petition, and we all will one day be very grateful that in our time we are making history. You see, I always said when Ghana became 50. Ghana at 50. Do you know what happened to me? Ghana at 50. I was so excited. I enjoyed Ghana at 50. That then, do you know what happened? I became sad. Why? Because one day I said, at my age, I'm 40 years and plus. Yes. Then when I said that, so the day Ghana will be at 100, Ghana at 100,
you don't be there.
50 years plus my age. If I will be there.
So you don't be as active as you are now.
I'm imagining the Supreme Court judges, the political. That's why we have to be humble enough. President Mahama, Nana Akufo-Addo, please, Ghana at 100, where will you be? And what will Lampa be? If Ghana at 100, 90 years plus 40 years, oh my God. You see, that's why we have to be humble enough. Power will never be for us, but power will come and go. But in 100 years, we'll be writing history. People will begin to write history, political history. So we all have a duty to do the right things, to know that power will definitely change hands. We cannot be there forever. We are laying a solid foundation. One day we'll leave and go. And we want to say that in 50 years from now, Ghana at 100, we should be able to speak to the nation and tell people what actually happened, how we were able to conduct the first election petition, how we were able to sail through, and what lessons we have learned. And everybody is playing a role. Everybody is a stakeholder. Every Ghanaian watching me, you are a stakeholder. You are making history for yourself. One day, you speak to this nation. Whether we are alive or not, one day somebody will speak to the nation. Some of us will be lecturers. Some of them will let people know what actually happened. So we all are stakeholders. Let's help the justices to do a genuine work for us, and let's all be proud about what we have done so far.
Okay, a little pause here.